I'm trying this for a second time because the last video was way too long. Welcome. It's New Year's Eve. Big shout out to Ice Hat, the winner of the Gap Challenge. Go check out his videos. He's got some great content. Tell him I sent you. The man. Anyway, I'm done. I am totally done with 2020. It has been a year of trials, tribulations, losses, gains, all kinds of things. The financial struggle that I am so done with doing. it's beaten me down, and like many, we have lost a lot this year. We've lost a lot of people. It is just an ugly year. I won't get into the politics of it because, frankly, everybody's heard it. It's just some BS. There's a lot of BS. The crap needs to end. Tired of being lied to, that whole spiel. But we have a lot to be thankful for. We're still here. We're still fighting the fight. We woke up today. We have our families. We have the ability to fly, even though that remote ID thing could completely crush a lot of us. But I won't even get into that. I'm going to fly, period. That's all I'm saying. I have a couple quads that are over the 250. And even when I fly them, I'm in a safe field. I don't fly super high. There's no houses near. I feel like it doesn't apply to me. But anyway, let's hope that gets shot down or changed again, so our hobby isn't ruined, because there are a lot of us that aren't rule breakers and a lot of us that do it as a passion, a therapy. It has saved their lives, and I don't feel like giving up something that has changed my life in such a significant way. Anyway, so let's move over here to, and it's already here because I've already done this video, and I just thought it was way too long, and then the kid came in and interrupted. And so, been playing around with a couple quads. I've been flying in the basement a whole bunch, working on the acro in the house with these guys. This is Booger, the Meteor 65 that has been changed multiple times and now is a crazy looking pusher. This is OJ. This is the Mobula 6. Slightly different. I changed this thing a couple times and made it a 75 and then brought it back, and then ended up swapping the camera to the Caddx Ant just because it's a significantly better camera than that Runcam Nano that was on there, whatever it was. Anyway, so I've been messing with this. This is Two-Face. This is the Beta 95X V2. It comes with an EOS camera, which I hated. It's just not a great camera for flying between light and dark. Contrast wise, the how quickly when you blast the light in your face. So I had taken it off very early on, and I swapped and put a Caddx Turtle. And my stupid ass forgot how crappy the FPV feed is. Very soft, not a lot of contrast, can't see ghost branches, and the whole design of this thing is to fly into the trees and play in really cinematic ways and make killer videos. The video quality is decent, won't complain. It just seems like I can never get it right, or was blurry in certain spots in the video, and I just couldn't. It's like the focus was off in a spot. I don't know what it was, but I did a video the other day in the woods, and that was the last video. I came home, I can't remember if it was that day or the next, and I was like, you know what, let's just gut it. Eventually I'm going to save up, and I'm going to get the Insta SML, and I already had a mount for it, so I had spent some time, which is a pain in the ass, putting back the camera mount onto here, and then I didn't actually put the beta camera on there. I took the Fox Ear that was on Sweet Tooth and put it into here, and it had to be modded. As soon as I was done, I'm like, great, I got it, no issues. And then when I put it on, the camera was aiming down. I'm like, what in God's name is going on? The little plug for the wires, there's no room for it, so it was hitting. So I got brave and I desoldered the pins, soldered directly to the back of the camera, and it works great. I did a couple test flights in the basement with it because there's bright lights down here and it's kind of dark in the other side of the basement, and I'm very happy with how the camera looks. It's probably not going to stay just because I'm nuts, and my favorite camera is the Caddx Ratel, and that camera has never let me down, and I can pretty much see everything playing in the trees and going into shadow areas. So I'll wait and I'll play outside with it a little bit and see how it works, and if I'm not happy, there will be a Ratel. Like, I put the mount on here already for the Insta, so this thing should be good to go. played with the tune just a tiny bit more. These things need a little bit different of a tune. They don't come stock to me. I don't think any quad flies great right out of the box. I have a very particular feel and style that I look for when I fly. And I've got it down to a decent science for like a basic tune. And then I go from there based on the individual, because you don't tune this guy the way it flies the same way. The PIDs are completely different. And I've got a good method, and it hasn't let me down yet. And I think it's Hugin, Huginn FPV, SoCal, I think. A new friend to the family, which I hope is joining West Coast FPV. I'll be working with him a little bit later this afternoon, and he's got the V3, and help him tune his. So got that all squared away, and then before I broke this, I was like, what am I going to do with this thing? I took the camera mount, the Insta mount that I broke the Insta. I tried to buff the lens, and I don't think it was glass. Either way, I ended up throwing it across the yard after throwing a temper tantrum and breaking it permanently. And I was like, what's the point of having the mount? So I took the mount off, and I'm like, I wonder if there's a way to mount this guy onto here, and played with the crazy idea of putting it up here and around. And I'm like, wait a minute, will it fit down here? So I took it apart, swapped the VTX, moved some stuff around, because now there's plenty of room in here. But before, excuse me, the other VTX, the Ishin VTX02, the way they had it mounted, there was no room underneath here. So I swapped for a VTX, the Ishin Nano, I think it is, the multiple power. It's like 25 up to 400 milliwatts. I had a broken plug where the UFL meets the board, so I had hard soldered a antenna on there. So I said, I'll test that out and try that out also, and wired that in. Just did a quick couple laps around the basement with it just to make sure it worked, and it did. So then I got back into it, and I had mounted the camera inside here, and then I did a floating mount for the board. So the board was actually underneath, floating, isolated away from everything underneath there, and took it out and flew, and it flew great. I think the extra weight, because I put the smaller, tinier props, I think these are, I don't know if these are 1.9 or 2, but I put these smaller props on it, and it flew good for the most part. I had a little bit of, when you come down out of like a dive, or you do a flip and you get hard on the throttle, you get that little wobble for a sec. That could be due because the idle air is low, or there just wasn't enough thrust being created, because these take a little bit more in the throttle response to get it to go. But I ignored all that and flew it, and I got 7-minute flight. I did a bunch of punches and stuff, and when you test flight times, you can't just cruise. You have, or you could do a whole flight cruising and then one beating the living crap out of it. But I like to do an average and split the flight up based on, speed, chilling, cruising, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, yada yada yada, Seinfeld reference, and see how it flies. And it was par from the flights that I've normally gotten with it, maybe a touch more. And I was happy, but I came down at my landing, and the battery was a little tired, and I bumped the bottom a little harder than I want, and then it tipped, and then it went for about a foot and a half, and it completely destroyed the lens. I was so pissed. I'm like, yay, great flight, wonderful landing. So it's out now, and I put the beta camera in there. The one that I've been talking I don't like. I put it in there because this is more of a freestyle than anything else, and I'm not really playing in the trees with it, so it will work just fine until I figure out what I want to do. I may get another lens for this. I don't know. I don't have anything else it'll fit in right now. Put a lens in it, sell it, put it up as an award for a challenge or something like that. If anybody has interest in a Turtle V2, it is in mint condition other than the lens, which I will put in. I still have all the controller and all that shit for it. Still a great camera. I think it'd be better on a bigger bird for sure, unless you put it on a plane. If you're only using it as just a like a action cam, like I was using it on this, get the lens dialed back in, put it on a plane or a RC truck or something, that might be an option. I'll talk to one of the truck guys if nobody's interested in this. So you could have a DVR on your RC truck and record your flights instead of adding a GoPro or whatever. You could waterproof the board or seal it underneath, inside. There's options. But yeah, that's what's been going on. Who's texting me? carbon fiber. No, I don't need that. Um, so yeah, like I said, doing a real quiet New Year's Eve. I got both daughters tonight. Wife's doing a pot roast. We're gonna sit around and play some board games or color, stuff our faces with snacks, and watch this crappy year get out. Oh. So I've had this screen for a while. ADD. Yeah, you know me. Love this screen. I am dumbfounded on the quality of this Amway screen, which I think they're all out of business now, but you fly any one of these, and for whatever reason, the image quality is so much smoother. It's got to be the screen. But in the process of getting ready to swap to this room and just using it a whole ton when friends are over because they enjoy seeing what we see, I left it dead. I think by testing other things and I kept running it down, and then I put it in the box and I left it probably for 2 months. And I went to go out to use it, and it wouldn't work. It has a removable battery. This was a removable battery. Can't find it anywhere. Completely impossible. I searched. There's no options for it. So I gave that up. I did a little bit more research. Figured out, it's in voltage. I don't know which side it's on. One of these sides you could put a battery. Let's see here. DC out, DC in. So yeah, you could run a plug and run an external battery. I'm like, didn't really want to do that. So I got creative, found the pins that are for the power, put an XT60 on it, gutted the battery out, hollowed the shell, still completely removable. I added a strap and a lithium-ion battery, a much larger battery. Plugged it in, and it worked. Because at first I was thinking maybe it wasn't the battery and it was the screen was bad or something. But it works now. It's not. It takes an extra second to set up because you got to plug the battery in, but it's not the end of the world. It lasts significantly longer than the cheap shit battery that's in there. And I got a screen back. And I think this would be good, or if we start horsing around and doing live videos, I could set it up in front of this. Oh, you can see the Aurora Glow on my phone. Note 10 Plus right there. So maybe set it up in front of here and I could do live flies, or just, fly around, and then I'll have it. Come on. It's a slow starter. It's like me in the morning. Let's see if I got a battery here. All right, so let me put you down for a sec. What do I got? I got my 3S. Yep. I think there's enough juice left in here. Fingers need to work. Alright, so it already knows it's there. So you just do a little hold down for search. You can see I moved the LED too. So the LED is kind of tucked away there. But as you see, it's searching. I need Jeopardy music here, my goodness. So what you're seeing is the actual Wi-Fi in the basement. But I mean, considering all the crap that's down here, and it's the channel it's on too. I haven't changed the channel on it. Look at it, Christopher and Christopher. Yeah, so it works great. And it's funny, like I said, just wiggling it around based on where you are, it picks up some of the Wi-Fi. It's wild. All the other crap down there. But it's got to be close to lunch. Yeah, I'm going to go make myself a quick snack, hold me over, and do some ripping in the basement. I appreciate everybody through this challenging year, and 2021 is going to be a fun year full of West Coast and New England FPV, and who knows, we even will grow more. We might even grow more. To the south, to the north, we're going everywhere. So enjoy your new year. Be safe. No partying with groups of people. Let's get rid of this horrible nuisance that has impacted all of our lives, and I appreciate y'all. Peace out.